Hello, hello! This is Angela with Ferry by Ferrino, and today we're going to be doing a lesson on how to do the purl stitch. This is a knitting 101 lesson, so it's made specifically for those that are just starting to learn how to knit. If you haven't already cast it on, go ahead and do that. And if you're not sure yet how to cast on, go back to my videos, and I have a video specifically teaching you how to cast on. Let's start by explaining what exactly the purl stitch is. Now, when it comes to knitting, there are two basic stitches. You have the knit and the purl. I have a later video that explains what the knit stitch is. And when you look at a picture of a knit stitch, it's more vertical lines. Now, the purl stitch is different because when you look at the purl stitch, as you are now, the lines are horizontal. Place your working needle in your right hand. Hold the yarn in whichever way is most comfortable for you. The way I will be showing is right-handed English style. One important thing to remember when you do the purl stitch is that your yarn should always be in the front of your work. So the yarn that you're holding with your index finger should be closer to you, which is the opposite of your knit stitch where you hold the yarn behind your work. We're going to start out with some still images so I could go into greater detail on how to do the purl stitch. But if you don't really want to know the specifics and you just want to follow me while I do the purl stitch in the video, you can fast forward through this part. Step 1, we're going to take our working needle and place it into the first loop. Step 2, to insert the needle into the first loop, we're going to do it purlwise, which means that we are going to insert it from the right side of the loop, from the back, and when it has been inserted, the needle should come out of the front of the loop on the left side. Your working needle should now be the needle closest to you. Now take your yarn, which I'm holding in my index finger, and wrap it around the working needle from the back to the front. And in step 4, what we're going to carefully do is take your working needle, take it off of the loop that we inserted in initially, and we're going to move this needle onto the other side, so it is the needle farthest from you now. In step 5, you can see now that your working needle is in behind. And in step 6, we're going to take this loop that we've been working with and we're going to completely slip it off of the left needle. In step 7, we're just going to pull it tight and we'll have a purl stitch. Here is a slow motion capture. Now take your working needle and insert it into the first loop purlwise. Wrap your yarn around the working needle from the back to the front. Slip your needle out from the loop and place your working needle in the back. Now slip the loop off of the left needle, and that's your purl stitch. Again, insert your working needle into the loop purlwise, wrap your yarn around the working needle from the back to the front, slip your needle off from the loop and onto the back, and slip your loop off of the left needle. So take your working needle and slip it into the first loop purlwise. Wrap your yarn around the needle from the back to the front. Slip your working needle off of the loop and onto the back. Slip your loop off the left needle. And that is your purl stitch. And again, take your working needle, slip it into the loop purlwise, wrap your yarn around the working needle from the back to the front, slip your needle off of the loop, slip your loop off of the left needle. And we're just going to keep on doing this. Try to be conscious when you're knitting not to knit too tight, not to knit too loose. I know for a lot of beginner knitters, we usually knit a lot tighter than we really should. When you get to the end of your row, you're just going to turn your work around and start all over again. All you need to make sure is that all of your stitches on your needle are going to be on the left side, and then your working needle is always going to be on your right side as long as you're right-handed. And remember, when you do the purl stitch, to always hold your yarn so that it is on the side of the needle that is closest to you. And that's it, guys. You've officially done the purl stitch. Check out our other videos on our YouTube channel, Ferri by Ferrigno, where we offer many videos for beginner knitters. This is Angela with Ferri by Ferrigno. Happy knitting, guys!